when you just stop giving a fuck. Life gets so good when you just stop caring. Yeah.
Now for a brief moment of mindfulness.
It feels so good when I live my life up to my standards. It feels so good when I do what's best for me. It feels so good when I make decisions that are in my favor. It feels so good when I trust my opinion. It feels so good when I listen to my first mind. It feels so good when I trust my intuition. It feels so good when I trust my decision making. It feels so good to not give a fuck. Because here's the truth, friend. You be around here talking about you don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck. But truth is, you give entirely too many fucks. You care about other people's opinions. You care too much about living up to other people's standards. You care too much about living up to societal pressures and norms and conforming to societal standards. You give too many fucks about the opinions of people that don't pay your bills. You give entirely too many fucks about your parents' opinions of you. You grown, friend. You grown. You pay your own bills, right? You work at them people's job or you work for yourself, right? When you go to sleep at night, you probably go to sleep in that bed that you pay for. Yeah. When you're on your dying bed, you have to be okay with the decisions that you made for you. You have to be okay with the results. You got to be okay with the outcome. And if you're not okay with the outcome, you cannot blame it on all those people who pressured you into living up to a certain standard. You cannot blame it on your parents who created this image of who they wanted you to be. You cannot blame it on the people who you asked for their opinion, and even though their opinion was different from what you felt in your body, and you went with it anyways, you can't blame it on them, friend. That's your fault. Because at the end of the day and at the beginning of every single day, we have to be okay with the decisions that we make, regardless of whether somebody else made it for us or whether we made it for us. Because at the end of the day, that decision is going to impact us. And it feels so good when you just stop giving a fuck. Life gets so good when you just stop caring. Yeah, because you know what happens when you stop caring? When you stop caring, you do what's in your highest favor. The decisions that you make that impact your life, those decisions are decisions that you feel good about. Those are decisions that you may not regret. And if you do regret them, at least you know that it was a decision that you made for you and not a decision that someone else made for you. And it feels so good to know and trust in your decision making abilities. Yes, the first half, like our whole childhood, decisions were made for us. But at some point as an adult, you have to be comfortable with trusting in your decision making capability because your womb knows, your yoni knows, your intuition knows, your body knows, and it always remembers. Trust what your body is telling you. Trust your first mind. Trust your heart. Trust your spirit. Trust that little voice in your head. Trust the first thing that comes to your mind the first time. Because 9 times out of 10, that is your subconscious speaking. That is your higher conscious speaking. That is your higher self. That is your God that lives within. That's your ancestors. That's your spirit guides. That's God working in your favor, conspiring to live up to the vortex that you created for you. And life gets so good when you don't give a fuck about other people's decisions and you make the decisions that you want to make for you yourself. Yeah. Yeah. And I love that for you because life gets so good when you stop giving a fuck. Because you know what happens? The people that you surround yourself with, they start looking different. They start moving different. They start showing up different. Now you're able to foster genuine relationships with people because you know that those friendships that you've cultivated with other people are based on who you authentically were, are based on who you authentically show up as. You know that you didn't put on a facade and that you didn't put on a mask so that you can cultivate these friendships. What? Like, based on shit that doesn't even matter to you for real. And when you start surrounding yourself with those type of people, just gets so good. Friendships just feel so good. You can trust again. You can love again. You can be again. And you deserve to be. Like, you literally deserve to just be. Not think about it. Not think twice. Not going with your second mind. Not stressing, not worrying. When you don't give a fuck, you live a stress-free life. Let me tell y'all, when I decided to move to Mexico, I didn't tell nobody because I told myself that this is a decision that I was making for me. I made that decision for me, and I knew that if I reached out to anyone and told them what I was deciding to do for me, those people would have gave me unsolicited opinions when I had already made the decision. So what's the point of telling others or asking others for something unless you really into like you really, really, really deep down care about their opinions. And you might even want them to talk you out of it because of fear. Because of fear. Fear of judgment, fear of making the wrong decision, fear of doing the wrong thing, fear of your intuition, fear of not like trusting in your intuition. And if you do and something goes wrong, then you can't even trust in yourself again. I get it. We've all been there. At some point, we all gave entirely too many fucks. But you deserve to live a life where you don't even know how to spell fuck. Like DUCK because you look dumb. Yeah, I don't mean to be harsh, but at some point you got to realize that when you look in the mirror and everything about you is the results of other people's projections onto you, that don't feel good. I got to be able to look in the mirror and know that, like, I love what I see. I love what I feel in my body. I love the life that I'm living. I love the life that I cultivated for myself based on what was serving my highest good, based on what was serving me, based on what felt good to me. Because when you do things that feel good for you, when you do things that feel good in your body, when you make decisions that are serving your highest good, then the domino effect is that it'll serve others as well because we do ourselves a disservice and we do the world a disservice when we don't show up in our rawest form. We don't show up authentically. And you deserve the life that's on the other side of you not giving a fuck. You can trust that your partner loves you for you. You can trust that you love you for you and not for the you that's not really even you. Yep. You picking out what I'm putting down? That's all you. You did that. You showed up. You put the work in. You made that decision. Your intuition made that decision. Your higher self made that decision. And look at the results. Life is good. Life is good. I can truly, for the first time in my life, say, you know what? Life is good. Now, it's not perfect. I'm still working through some things. I'm still working on 1000% not giving a fuck. Right now, I can say I'm at 99.99%. Life gets good when you stop giving a fuck, because it will inherently boost your confidence. And because of that, I'm able to sit here and show up every single day confidently. The confidence exudes, the radiance exudes from my aura, from my every being. I am confident because this is all me. I made these decisions going with my first mind, going with what felt good in my body, going with what felt good to my intuition, going with what made my yoni tingle, going with what made my womb space feel safe and warm. Like, when you keep that vow to yourself, when you make decisions and you keep that vow to yourself and you do the things that you said that you were going to do for you without caring about the judgment of others, that feels good. And in return, you're able to be more confident and have a higher self-esteem, and it shows. It also breathes a life of peace and contentment, because you realize that the things that I cannot control, I cannot control. And I'm not going to allow myself to overreact and stress out about things that are beyond my control. But what is in my control is within my control, and I control that. And if I don't like it, I can change that. I can do better. I can do something different. And as a result, you can be at peace with what it is that you control, because you controlled it. But the things outside of your control, we let go of that. We release it. We don't even care, because that has nothing to do with anything that we can do. So guess what? Fuck it. Like, for example, my phone was recently stolen. And I've been stressing out about it a little bit, but I'm like, you know what? That's outside of my control. It's at customs. They're holding it right now. That's outside of my control. And I cannot beat myself up or make myself feel bad. And now life is like, I'm going through it. I'm like, you know what? I can still do the things that I want to do for me. Like, that's within my, I'm using my iPad right now to record this video. I have a camera. I can use that. Like, life is still good. Because what I can control, I am controlling that. But what I cannot control, I release it. And I can be at peace because I know that I did my part. And now I can just let the universe do its part. Because 9 times out of 10, if the things that we desire to be different aren't changing, then there is something that is beyond our control that we cannot see. There's a bigger picture that is happening, something bigger at stake. And it's going to be better. It's for a reason. Maybe it's to show me that you have resources outside of this. Maybe I need to detach from this phone. Maybe I need to make better decisions when it comes to, like, you know, it's something that has to do with that phone. You know, like, you never know. Maybe it was for the sole purpose of getting a brand new phone. Like, now, guess what? I get to get a brand new phone. Look at God. You know, I'm controlling what I can control, what I cannot control. I'm not overreacting or stressing myself about things that are beyond my control, because it is beyond my control. And what is the point if I cannot do a fuck thing about it? So you know what? I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You know how else life gets good when you stop giving a fuck? It greatly impacts your mental health. Because a lot of times, a lot of us have anxiety. A lot of us feel the weight of the world, the pressures of our friends, our family, our partners, because we care about how they view us. We care about what they think about us. We care about their judgment. And that impacts our mental health. All because we care. And now we have anxiety. Now we're worried about the past. Now we're stressing out about the future. Because we haven't even allowed ourselves to make decisions that are true to who we are, because we're thinking so much about other people. And that breeds anxiety, because you're worried. You're like, oh my gosh, what are they going to think about me? Oh my gosh, what are they going to think about this? Oh, so I'm not going to do that. And when you don't do it, now you're just anxious all the time. You're stressed out all the time. Release yourself. Let go. I invite you today and every day, stop caring so much. Stop giving a fuck. You care more about the opinions of others than you do about the opinion of yourself. You care more about others' judgment than you do about the judgment of yourself. And to be honest, a lot of times the judgment that we have of ourselves is the results of the projections of the judgments that others have on us. I invite you to release their judgment. Actually, don't release it, because we don't want to sign that lease again. We want to get rid of that lease. Let it go. Let it go and trust yourself again. Because at some point you did trust yourself. When you were a child, when you were little, you trusted yourself. You did what felt good to your body. You didn't think twice about the fact that your mom said, don't do that. Don't go there. Don't touch that. Don't play with that. Don't wear that. Put this on. Channel the energy of your curious, your carefree, untainted inner child, and show up as her today, or him, and every day, or them, and every day. I invite you to just be like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. And smile when you think about it, like, I don't care. I don't care. Say it with me. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I love that for you, babe. Like, I truly love that for you, because life gets so good. Like, watch how good life gets when you start not giving a fuck. And if you're somebody who already does not give a fuck, I'm proud of you. Let me know down in the comments about how not giving a fuck has affected your life. And if you are someone that's working on not giving a fuck, then I invite you to join us over at the Spiritual Hoochie Sanctuary, where we don't give no fucks. We just be. We just show up in our most authentic bodies as our most authentic selves, and we allow ourselves to be. In the Spiritual Hoochie Sanctuary, we invite you to be your most authentic self. Spiritual, sensual, ghetto, ratchet, sophisticated, classy, whatever that looks like. We invite you. We celebrate that. We encourage it. We invoke it. We provoke it. We love it. We uplift it. We empower it. And we want you there amongst the rest of us, so you can learn to stop giving a fuck so much and be surrounded by other people that don't give a fuck and want to encourage you to not give a fuck. We have a group chat that's very active, very uplifting, and I'd love to have you there. You can head over to the Spiritual Hoochie Sanctuary membership website down in the description box below. Subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you there. Again, I am DeeVine, your favorite sensual spiritual rap goddess, the Spiritual Hoochie, and I'll see you in the next one.